talked about the two major pillars out of the four: nutrition and sleep. Now we're jumping into exercise, right? Yeah, step up. Um, when we talk about exercise, we're actually referring to physical activity. And there are two types of physical activities, also known as exercise. We have aerobic exercise and there is anaerobic exercise. Yes, because most times commonly we hear about aerobic exercise, but they're actually aerobic and anaerobic. So, what is an aerobic exercise? There are those ones which increase your heart rate, your cardiovascular activity, and improve blood circulation and nutrition to the various parts of our body. Some of them examples are when you are dancing. Yes, dancing is an aerobic exercise. Gardening is an aerobic exercise. I'm giving you this example so you can choose any option that applies to you. Jogging is an aerobic exercise. Brisk walking. When you brisk walk, you get your heart rate up and you actually get to sweat. Cycling, swimming, climbing, these are all aerobic exercises. But there are also anaerobic exercises, and there's a place for that because we need both, especially as we get older. You need those weight strengthening exercises. And anaerobic exercises include high intensity interval training. We call it HIIT. Weightlifting, cycle training, and strength training. High intensity interval training, is not very popular and is not well studied, especially in older adults, right? That's why you see a lot of. So there's still caution with recommending that for older folks. But the aerobics exercises is well tolerated, is not harmful to your health. But even the anaerobic exercise, like a traditional endurance exercise, um, you can still do it. It's generally tolerated. It's just that we don't highly recommend it for older adults unless you are under supervision of an exercise specialist or a doctor. So, what are the goals? What are the benefits? I've told us how it increases our circulation, and the goal actually is that for older folks, you don't need to aim at doing 40 minutes a day. Actually, a very good study that I reviewed recently said 3 to 10 minutes or 2 to 3 3 10-minute, meaning consecutive exercise that you do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, 10 in the night. If you remain consistent with that, because something with adherence and compliance had to do with long-term sustainability. This is a new year. You want a new you. You carry that zeal. You start doing 45 minutes, but it doesn't help when you can't sustain it. You can't help when you can't sustain it to December. So there are studies that are looking at short, small changes that are consistent small changes. And what are they? You exercise 10 minutes in the morning, you exercise 10 minutes in the afternoon or 10 minutes in the night, or you do the 30 minutes at a time, or you do 2 15-minute section a day. The goal is to have your 30 minutes a day times 5 days a week, or 45 minutes times 3 days a week. And what are the benefits? It improves your muscle strength and tone. Even if you are sitting down and you are just moving your shoulder, if you can never move your legs again because you're in a wheelchair or you have a stroke, any part you can move. Just small changes, can make a big difference. So the other benefits with it, it improves your mood. We're talking about sleep. There's something I want to tell you about these 4 pillars of health. They're interconnected. When you sleep well, your mood becomes better and you eat in a healthier manner. And when you're able to exercise, so there's a synergy between 4 of them that they work together. What affects one just trickles down and affects the other. So when you look, like we're looking at the exercise now, it helps with your energy level. It helps you to manage stress and reduce tension. It improves your sleep. It also helps with your mood, anxiety, and depression. It increases your enthusiasm and optimism, how you look forward to life. Most times with older folks, you think because you are locked up in the house, many of your friends are gone, there's tendency to get depressed. When you move and things, your brain start working, you start thinking of things you can even do in the 4 corners of that room where you are sitting. Things you can do, you can even journal. And I'm going to get that when I get to stress management. There's so many things you can do as a senior, as an older folk, to still be relevant to people around you and still be happy. It helps to improve your muscle strength and tone. especially the heat. When you lift that weight and pull it up and pull it down, it helps. So there are a lot of these things about aging that can be improved when you begin to exercise. So I'm going to give you some ideas of things you can do in the house. You don't have to go to a gym to exercise. If you can afford that, that's good. Housework for women and even for men, cleaning, helping to rake the leaves or sweep, mow the lawn for those who have a lawn to mow, weeding if you have a garden to weed, and other yard and garden work, riding a bicycle, going for a long walk. If you have a bicycle in the house that's stationary, you can jump on it. You don't need to go outside, and you're cycling it while you're watching TV. Take a walk with the dog. Go to the nearest playground or park, or store. Take a stroll down the market. You don't have to drive. You don't have to enter keke. You have to take about just take a little walk. Walk up and down the stairs or walk up and down the room. Get off the taxi a few stops before your usual stop and walk the rest to your house. Take a walk around your building for a break during the work day if your son or your family or your grandchildren are able to take you to their offices. If you stay in a hotel or you find where is the fitness center, where can I walk around. If it is a shopping mall, let them take you there and you'll be walking. If you have your walker, if you have your cane, just move, just get moving, just step it up. Walk around the airport if you're in the airport waiting for your plane. Walk around your hotel, use the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk around to explore your environment. It's even very stimulating and exciting to say, okay, there's some of us that beautiful trees and plants around our neighborhood we never discovered because we don't intentionally explore and look at the creation and what God has made. If it is dancing, put on a music that you enjoy and begin to dance, move your legs, go to the stream. These days I'm looking forward. I grew up, going to the stream to fetch water. I don't think people are doing that these days, but that was a form of exercise. You go, waddle your feet, swim, walk around the beach, join a dance group, a dance lesson, get together with your friends, your neighbors who enjoy the same physical activities you do and do them together. Always check with your doctor, I always say, because if your blood pressure is very high and you engage in a high intense exercise, it's going to go higher more. So make sure before you do all these things that you are checking to make sure your blood pressure is fine. I won't tell you how many people have had stroke because they were exercising and jumping without knowing that, their blood pressure is too high. Of course, wear comfortable clothes and shoes. Listen to your body. Hold off on exercise when you are sick or you're feeling extremely tired. You don't have to kill yourself because you want to exercise. If you're having a lot of pains and aches in your joints, slow down. That's why you need advice on how to exercise in a healthy way so you don't damage your ligaments and your joints further. Of course, drink enough water and keep yourself very hydrated. Go gradually if you have to do weights. I thought about high intense exercise, hits. If you want to lift weight, don't go to 10 kg. Start very little and then you slowly go up. Slow your pace. Avoid outdoor exercises if it is very hot and sweaty. It's not good for older folks. It's not good for anybody. You want to be able to breathe fresh air and you don't want to feel too hot while you are outside. Now, listen to your body and watch out for feelings of headache, dizziness, fainty feeling, or your heart is racing. Those are not good signs, especially for our older folks. Other tips are you don't want to enjoy yourself when you're exercising. So you always want to warm up by starting slowly, okay? And when you want to finish, you also cool down. It helps a lot with your joints, your knee pain. No jogging or running on non-tarred roads. Many of our roads are not tarred. My people, they're very uneven. Even staying in the car, the gallop will give you more eggs. So you don't run on those roads. That's why if you're going to like in Enugu, there's a place they call Okpala Square. It's really a good place to go and you can really walk around and exercise. Places like that is good. But if it's on tarred roads, don't try to be running on those roads or even walking fast. Exercise at the same time of the day. Very, very important. It helps for regularity and consistency. Again, if you are going to the gym, you have to be supervised. There's those equipments that if you're not used to, they can cause injury. So be aware not to overuse or strain or sprain your muscles, especially your shoulders when you are swimming, knees and ankles and feet when you're jogging, your elbows with playing tennis. They're called overuse injuries. So you want to do these exercises with caution. Ask friends and family members, to join you for accountability. And you can create varieties of the activities you do so you can make it fun. So, and that's it for exercise. And we're going to jump into let go, which is stress, right? Now, this is my big part because when it comes to nutrition, you can see what you are eating or where you're not going to eat. When it comes to exercise, of course, very visible. You can know when you are running, when you're walking. But when it comes to stress, it's kind of, at times it sounds imaginary. It sounds like something you can't see. And is a major risk factor that um, I don't think we're able to have a handle on it. But I'll do a little I can and make it relatable to us and to our community. So these are major sources of stress. I don't know where you fit in. I'm sure you'll find yourself in one group. Peer and social pressure. For older persons, there's still peer and social pressure. Oh, this one's children, this one have 10 grandchildren. I have one. I don't have any. My children are now this one. These are issues of life. So peer and social pressure can give you a subtle underlying stress, and stress is a big killer. Relationship and disappointment. Oh, my children are not calling me. They have forgotten me. Oh, this Christmas, I didn't even see any of them send me any money. Look at this other Mr. B or Mr. C. Their families all came home. My own family, none of my children, they all stay in the city. These are stressors that we battle with every day. Financial debt and high cost of living. Talk about it. Talk about the cost. People are parking their cars because they can't even afford fuel. That's how bad things are. Even the so-called rich are finding it so difficult. I get it. I grew up not eating 3 times a day. I grew up not knowing where the next meal is going to come from. So I understand the fear and the stress that can come from poverty and financial challenges. Another source of stress is shame and guilt. A lot of us are so secretive about issues we are dealing with or things that have happened to us in life that at times is not beyond our control. And the shame of it and the guilt is eating us up. That's a major source of stress. Oh my God, this is the next one. Death of loved ones. Tell me about it. I don't think you can reach age 50, going to 60, going to 70, and you have not experienced death of loved ones. Death of loved ones. I've thought about it, Loneliness from separation from friends, neighbors, brothers, sisters, children. As people live older, if you're going to live to 100, the chances is at times you will lose children. Those are realities of life. How do we handle this stress of physical health challenge? Talk about aging. All those joints that have been working for 50, 60, 70 years. Everywhere is aching. The heart is failing. The kidney is failing. Things that, hearing loss. You can't see well. Frustrations of life, fear of the known, fear of abandonment, things like that. Of course, our memory changes, personality changes, temperament, scary news, things. People get stressed by what is happening to my grandchild. You hear something in the news, is it my daughter? Is it this one? And are we talking about kidnapping, security threats that have ravaged our society called Nigeria? And you can continue to name it all. These are major sources of stress. I wanted to just mention them so that, like I said, stress is something so subtle. It's not something you can pick and tangibly say, this is stress. Now, how do we manage stress? Like I told you, the 4 pillars of health are very connected, interconnected. When you walk, you run, instead of just going there brooding over your life, brooding over the failures, brooding over things that didn't work well, brooding over things you can't even change, brooding over mistakes that you have made you can't unmake. Get up and walk. Just exercise. Move your legs, move your hands. Help, be kind, or do something for someone else. Look at young people who are going through the same route you went through, making the same mistake you made through. Gather them, tell stories. Do you know that storytelling is a big thing? You can contribute to people around you. Many people don't know the history of their family. Many people don't know the history of, even events that happen in our nation, Nigeria. You have a lot to contribute, uncle. You have a lot to contribute, daddy and mommy. Please do that. You owe the younger people that. And that can be a form of stress relief. Be grateful for the good and not so very good. There is something about gratitude that actually scientifically proven releases hormones in your brain that helps to calm you down. Be grateful that you can talk. Be grateful that you can even think, because if you have dementia, you don't only forget the past, you can't even remember the children. They will come around you, you won't be able to see them. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and forgive others. People who have hurt you and will continue to hurt you, especially those who continue to hurt you. Believe me, hurt people hurt people. So some people have issues they have to deal with themselves, but on your own account, let go. That's why I call this session, Let Go. Letting go of past hurts and trauma can really be of your health benefit. It's been scientifically proven. My next video is going to be on brain health, and I'm going to really put together and break it down how our memory, the stress, and all the worries and anxieties of life, things we just stress over, can actually come back to hurt us.
With this last pillar, addressing stress, we thank you for your time, and please be on the lookout for our next series that will be addressing brain health and wellness. We will be focusing on memory loss, dementia, and how to reduce risk of early onset in our seniors.